Alright, so in this video, I want to start a series of SQL problem solutions that are in this LeetCode SQL 50 series, right? So SQL 50 is sort of a LeetCode's study plan for you to prepare and crack any SQL interview. So there are 50 questions in these, and I've already solved about 3 or 4 medium to hard level questions, and there are 3 videos on that already, and I kind of want to make a playlist out of these problem solutions, right? So I want to start this series, and let me start today maybe with a couple of easy questions, and I want to pick this find customer referee problem because I think it has a very important concept in SQL, right? So let me just go to the problem. So this is the problem. It's under the easy category, and you have one customer table with 3 columns: ID, name, and referee ID. And ID is the primary key, name is the customer name, and referee ID is the ID of the customer who referred this customer, right? So if you look at this example, you have Will with null referee ID, which means nobody referred Will. Same with Jane, but Alex was referred by referee ID 2, which is Jane, right? 2 is the customer ID of Jane, so Jane referred Alex. Bill was not referred by anyone, but Zach and Mark were referred by Will and Jane respectively, right? So what you need to do is find the names of the customer that are not referred by the customer with ID 2, right? So this seems like a very simple problem, right? So it just looks like a simple where clause that you can put where ID is not equal to 2 or referee ID is not equal to 2. Right, so let's just start writing that and see where it goes. So you can write select name from customer table where referee ID not equal to 2, right? So this would mean that anyone who is not referred by 2 should be in my result data set, right? Let me just run this and check if it's right. Okay, this seems to be wrong. So what's going on? If you see the output, we are returning only Zach while the expected return had Will, Jane, Bill, and Jack. So if you see in the example table, we are returning only Zach where his referee ID is 1, but we also want Jane, Bill, and Jack. Jane, Bill, and Jack who have null as their referee ID, right? So it seems like we are actually missing out the null values in the referee ID, right? So that is what I wanted to kind of demonstrate. That's why I took this problem as the first easy problem, right? Even though it's easy, it kind of demonstrates the property of nulls in databases or in SQL. So what I need to do is put an OR condition after referee ID not equal to 2, saying not equal to 2 or referee ID is null, right? And the reason why we need to do this is, let's say you have 2 or any other value here, right? Scalar value of 1, 2, any value. Null is basically the absence of any value, and it means that it's unknown, right? So it cannot be equated to anything. The same way it cannot be not equal to anything, right? It's just unknown. So anything with not equal to 2 would be all the results or all the values in referee ID which have a value that is not 2, and that will not include null, because null is never equated or not equated to anything. So whenever you have null, you have to handle it with is null or basic or is not null, right? And in this case we want is null. Now let's try it out. Yeah, so this seems to be correct. Let me submit this and check the correctness. This is correct, right? So to drive home this point about nulls and how they are handled in databases, I just wanted to show these 3 points over here. So basically nulls do not equate to any scalar value, right? So it is neither equal to nor not equal to any value in the database. So SQL uses this 3-way logic which has either true, false, or unknown evaluated to any expression. And null is what the database uses to represent unknown. and therefore null cannot really be equal to or not equal to something, right? So it is just unknown. So this is why you have to handle nulls in your query separately and explicitly by using is null or is not null, since it doesn't equate to anything. So that is why when you say a referee ID not equal to 2 over here, this does not include null in its result set. So you have to include another predicate saying referee ID is null. So this is what I wanted to kind of highlight in this problem. And whenever you write any sort of query, no matter how simple or complex it is, you should always take care of nulls in your data set. So I remember in the first year as a data engineer, I had to write this query between two large tables, and I couldn't figure out why the result was not matching. Basically, the count of this query, of which was joining two tables, the count was not matching exactly what I expected, right? So it was select something, join on two tables where some column, let's say ID, not in another subquery, right? Select from another table, blah blah blah. So this was not working as I expected, and I spent a lot of time trying to figure out why the count was basically wrong. The main culprit was there was a lot of nulls coming in this subquery, and since there were nulls in this not in also wasn't able to properly handle nulls, because comparing a scalar value with null is not something that the database handles correctly or handles well. So that's why you need to be very careful with nulls in your data, no matter where it is in the join condition or in the where clause or even in the select query as a coalesce, right? So it should be handled and treated as a proper edge case to make sure you have 100% accuracy in your results. So this is what I wanted to highlight in this solution, guys, and I hope it kind of gave you a takeaway so that you handle nulls properly in your next query.